This for 5 minutes for her opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for calling this important hearing. Thank you to our witnesses. Some are very familiar. They've been here before, and they always provide us with excellent information in a very professional way. You know, it's very important to talk about the Federal Protective Service and all that they do to keep us safe in our federal buildings, especially important in my district in Las Vegas, where we had the shooting at the Lord George Federal Courthouse. It was a number of years ago, but a security guard was killed there, and we never forget that. As the chairman said, y'all are tasked with protecting more than 9,000 owned and leased facilities and responsible for keeping those workplaces safe for people who work there, people who are contractors, people who come and visit or who conduct business with those government agencies. So ensuring that you have the resources you need to keep people and property safe and secure while you're facing a wider range and growing number of threats is really critical to keeping our government functioning and serving the public. In recent history, we've seen dangerous situations and threats posed to our federal buildings. These have included plane crashes, car bombings, active shooters, you name it, it's practically happened there in a federal building, and you need to be prepared to address any of these situations and more. Currently, DHS's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, I guess, heads the Interagency Security Committee, which sets those standards that need to be met by our federal facilities. And based on these standards, then the FPS can identify risk and recommend actions to mitigate those risks, including additional resources you might need, such as screening equipment and security cameras. Among my many concerns is that even though the FPS has sent thousands of these assessments to federal agencies, many of their recommendations have just been ignored, and it's apparent that there are a number of vulnerabilities that could have been but need to be addressed. In reading the testimony of Mr. Maroney, I found it shocking to know that when the GAO conducted covert tests to test some of these vulnerabilities, FSP contract guards were unable to detect weapons ranging from batons to multi-purpose tools with knives in half of the test. And what's more concerning is then when the FPS conducted its own covert testing, this time with firearms and components for making explosive devices, the detection rate was almost the same. So, you know, this is just unacceptable and not good for anybody involved. I appreciate very much the work of the FPS and its contractors and the potential harms that they face every day because they are on the front line, but these exposures have to be addressed, and that's why I'm interested in hearing from you all just what the extent of the problem is, how we can address it, what resources you might need, and what changes in policy we should perhaps put forward. So thank you for joining us, and I look forward to the hearing.
Chair, thanks, the gentlelady. The chair now recognizes